Again, I hope you're doing well.
Doing well.
Just from when you've seen Lenores from day one of spring practice to now, what is the progress? How would you assess the progress he's made?
It's just kind of it's slowed down for him. You could really tell that our last practice on Thursday, just processing things at a lot quicker pace and playing with the higher tempo. So we have a camera that's on his helmet. You can see his eyes getting signals, giving calls, making reads very fast. So been very pleased with him.
I'm sure you have benchmarks you want to hit when it comes to install, having stuff done by a certain date, but how do you progress in that? Do you want to be sure that everybody has things down to perfection before you go forward, or how does that process work for you guys when it comes to install and moving forward from there?
Yeah, obviously you want to be, really good at everything you're trying to do, but there's also a limited amount of time, and then the practice schedule that we have as far as situations that we're trying to get to. So what we've been able to do is go back and hit some of our earlier installs, so that's helped us. But we pretty much got everything we need in at this point, and we've got one more install that we'll do tomorrow, which is more situational end of game type stuff, and be ready to roll.
With Lenores, last time you mentioned that an area you wanted to see him improve was with his footwork. How do you think he's progressed with that?
Yeah, I think just more practice and more reps, that's helped him. But I've seen him do a great job. He's moving forward in the pocket and keeping plays alive that way. And like I said, just processing things so much faster and cleaner, and he's able to go and play and be relaxed. So I'm really pleased with where he's at right now.
Kind of sticking with the progress. Like, what have you seen from the offensive line where they're having to battle the injuries a little bit early, but what have you seen from those guys?
Yeah, they've been good, steadily getting better. Coach Clements has done a great job with them, and we've moved them around a lot, and so trying to figure out which guys are going to fit the right positions, and you're always battling a little bit of the injuries from every practice, but I've been pleased with where they're at. I think we're executing at a pretty high level. We did the last time we were out on the field, so we'll see how it is this week, but I'm pleased with what they're doing right now.
Just wanted to get an update from you on Cutter and how he's progressed. What have you seen out of him and how he fits into what you like to do?
Yeah, Cutter had a good day last time we were out. He had a good week. I think he's continually gotten better, and it's the same as Lenores and Lucian and Duck and all those guys. Just the more reps that they get in the offense, playing with tempo and having to process information quickly, and then able to go out there and execute it. So Cutter's a really smart kid. He's a hard worker, big guy, throws the ball well, and I like where he's at.
Obviously had the scrimmage last Saturday. How would you assess kind of the execution and all that you saw from the unit in that scrimmage?
Like previous Saturday? Yeah. It was up and down, which is a lot. That's good. The defense is going to make plays as well, and guys have been battling against each other, but we did some good things, and we protected the football at a high level, so that's been great.
Theoretically, when you get a quarterback commitment, do you trust that that's it, and do you shut down the rest of your quarterback recruiting, or do you have to continue to stay in contact with others in the off chance that the initial one might fall through?
Yeah, we continually recruit at all positions and continue to evaluate as well, and there's a lot of water in the bridge before signing day, so obviously we've got to be ready.
Stan Drayton talked a little bit about his grading system of the running backs. I was curious to your thoughts on his grading philosophy and how you feel like those guys at that position have performed so far.
What did he say? I didn't watch it.
He just talked about being grading everything that they do and being a pretty harsh grader, that he wants to keep expectations high.
Good. He needs to keep doing it because those guys they're playing well, No, we all grade our players usually after every single practice, especially this time of year. So those guys know that, and we expect, high expectations from them.
with Landon Duckworth. I know he's only been here so long, but how do you feel like he's progressed in his first few practices here?
Yeah, he's been good. Fun guy to be around. You know, the team loves him. A lot of charisma. He's gotten better. He's learning how to, you know, be a pro at this level. He was pretty raw as he got in here, but starting to process some things and ask good questions. And he's done a nice job. He had a good practice on the last Thursday. So I'm excited about him. He'll continue to get better.
I guess kind of going off that, when you're evaluating the quarterbacks outside of Lenores, when you know the goal this year is really just development, I guess, does that change how you assess what they're doing or what, how they're progressing in any way?
Does what change?
Like change from how maybe you would assess Lenores versus assess the other quarterbacks, just knowing what their roles are might be.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard because they don't get the reps that Lenores is getting. So that part of it makes it tough. So you got to put a lot more work in individual drills and really asking them a lot more questions in meetings and that type of thing, because they're not actually getting the amount of reps. So it's hard for them to progress as quickly as you'd like. But that's, it's at every position, and, at quarterback it's a little bit hard because you got one guy that's running out there on the field. But I like that Duck has been very engaged, and he learns through Lenore's reps and Cutter's reps, and he's done a nice job of taking mental reps on the field. You can see him behind the quarterbacks, and he's back there working his footwork and trying to work his reads as he goes through, and he's just trying to steal reps that way.
How much do you let yourself think about in April the areas that you feel like you're going to be really good from an offensive standpoint, or how much does that evolve from now until Towson gets here?
Yeah, it'll evolve. I mean, obviously you're thinking about it, and you're thinking about what guys do well, and how we need to put them in position to make plays and all those type things. But they got all summer to train, and then you get so many practices in fall camp as well, and that's when you really kind of mold your team and get things going in the right direction, how you want to attack people and what you feel like you're good at, and things that you're not good at, you try not to do it. So. We'll continue to evaluate the guys. We got 3 more practices this week, and then we'll be with them for a couple of weeks, and then they'll get into summer. And when you come in here in June, then we'll be able to do some stuff with them as well. And so we're with them a lot, and then we get into fall camp, and then we'll start getting dialed in on everything. Appreciate it.